And we're back.
We're back. Another video. Today we're here to talk about planning for Disneyland Paris.
As our next trip is 22
days away today. So that's very exciting. Looking forward to going. Holiday after, get your year started right.
We're going for the 30th anniversary, so it's going to be a very special trip.
Four nights? 4 nights. Wednesday through Saturday we come home. Saturday night, don't we?
It's 3 nights, isn't it?
It's Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday. 3 nights. 3 nights, 4 days.
But 4 nights including the
Yeah, we're going up the night before. Anyway. So we're going to talk about everything to do with sort of planning your holiday, like COVID restrictions, getting there, hotels, parks, all that sort of stuff. Just a brief overview if you're thinking about going. Just a few things that you might want to think about before. It will help your trip run smoother. Supposedly. Yes.
Very
supposedly.
So the first thing we're going to talk about is transport. There's a few different ways of getting there. We're going to be flying
from Heathrow. Heathrow?
We're going from Heathrow.
Normally we'd go from Gatwick, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
It's closer to where we live, but Heathrow this time because the flight times are better. I think flying out at about 6 and the back at about 8 in the evening.
I think our flight's at like 9:30.
Yeah, so it's late. Whereas at Gatwick, it was a few hours later flying out and a few hours earlier flying back. So you'd lose sort of 7, 8, 9 hours
in the parks.
Which is when when you're only there for 4 days, you want to try and get there as early as you can, and come home as late as you can because you have to be at the airport like 2 hours before your flight anyway coming home. So it chops your last day in half if you go early, unfortunately.
Yeah. You can also get the Eurostar across.
Eurostar. Indeed.
So it runs from St Pancras. It used to run from Ebbsfleet.
It does. It still runs from Ebbsfleet, but you can't go direct.
Oh yeah.
If you want to go direct, you have to go from St Pancras. Whereas if you go from Ebbsfleet International, I think it's called,
have to go
via Lille.
Which is a pain.
It's a pain, basically. Just leave it at that.
Yeah.
I think more often than not, you have like an hour stopover, and it's not the easiest of stations to try and find where you're going, and it's just
like when I went like a few years ago, like on the way back, we was waiting to get our train to Lille, and our train got delayed, like very delayed, so we had to get another train. We ended up standing our whole way to Lille, which is quite a long journey.
Yeah, it's not fun.
And then there's like 2 different stations at Lille, and then our next train was at the other stations. We had to like leg it over, and we literally had like minutes to get on it.
It's a lot of unnecessary stress getting changing at Lille. So if you can get a direct, I'm hoping long term they're going to bring direct back to Ebbsfleet because that's just like perfect for us. But I would suggest getting a direct if you can, especially like if you've got luggage and that. It's just easier not having to change trains all the time.
And then you don't have to worry if one train gets delayed and
you're just
missing your next one. Like it's just so much easier.
Get on at St Pancras and get off at Disneyland.
Yeah, hence why we're flying, because it's just easier.
We're flying to Charles de Gaulle, and then it's sort of an hour, 40 minutes an hour taxi. Which
and the flight isn't that long either.
No, the flight's like 50 minutes max. And I mean, last time we went, it was like half hour.
On the way back, he was like
put his foot down.
We're delayed, so
It's a similar price. Really, the flights work out a bit cheaper, but then by the time you add the taxi in, they're relatively similar price-wise. So that doesn't make a massive difference. Really, it's just obviously your preference. What times the trains and the flights are, what suits you in terms of where you're based and how easy it is to get to the stations. Or if you really want to, you could drive.
Yeah. Not for us.
No, it's a long drive.
Yeah, it's a long drive.
Like, by the time you get the ferry over, and it's just you can bring more stuff home. More importantly, but I just don't really want to drive in France.
No,
if I'm being honest, I'd rather just get on a plane and be taken.
Yeah. So our plan is we're flying from Heathrow.
Yeah.
We're gonna stay in the hotel the night before, just because our flights are like 6, so it's just so much easier. So we're gonna drive to the airport and then park our cars there at the airport. So
yeah, because you have to be, by the time, if you're flying at 6, you've got to be at the airport for 4, and then you've got to drive to the airport around the M25 at whatever times of chaos, because
it's just easier to
it's just a lot less ag if you just get there, you're done, you're ready to go.
Yeah.
Happy days.
With COVID restrictions, so currently we will not have to do any tests before we go.
It's changed recently, isn't it?
When we come back,
Yeah,
so
very recent.
we're quite lucky in that sense, because last time we went in September, we had to do tests on the way out. We had to do a test before we came back into England, and then we had to do a day 2 test, and it was just a lot of hassle.
Yeah,
I mean, it was worth it.
Yeah, it's worth it to go, but like when it's like 30 quid a test per person, all of a sudden it's like you're spending like an extra 100 quid a person for your holiday, and it's like that's a lot of extra money.
You can spend that money on merchandise.
Yeah, you can buy more spirit jerseys and food. A lot more food.
Yeah.
Go to that McDonald's a few more times. Treat yourself.
Yeah.
But it's definitely easier. Like with the restrictions, we've got very lucky this time that France have relaxed them big time for people from the UK.
Yeah. The only downside is everyone going into the parks, they have to be vaccinated. Unless it's children, they have to have a health pass, and I think they still need tests to have the health pass.
Yeah, I think it's 16. Is it up to 16?
Yeah. But otherwise, you do need to be vaccinated.
So over 16 adults, you have to be vaccinated. Else they literally won't let you on site. You can't even go into the village or anything. You have to have your COVID pass every time you go from the hotel to the parks. You have to have your COVID pass on your phone. They check that before you even get to security, so they're very hot on it out there. Like they take it very seriously, which is a good thing. It's good that they take it seriously, because you don't want to go to Disney and get COVID, but
it makes you feel a bit safer.
Yeah, it's just you've got to be prepared.
Yeah.
If you're not prepared with all your forms and everything, it can drag it out.
Yeah.
Eats into your holiday, doesn't it?
Yeah, and then last time we had to wear masks. I think the rules will still be the same. It might change between now and then. It's still a few more weeks away. Everything's changing, but it might keep us a bit warmer.
If it's cold, you've got a mask on, you'd be like, oh, it's nice and toasty. But I'm hoping the weather will be alright. March.
Yeah, probably a bit cloudy.
Jumpers, coats, hopefully dry. I just want dry.
Yeah, as long as it's dry.
Dry.
The last time we went, I'll put in the clip. It was absolutely torrential rain. Like, as soon as we got there.
First day it was just like it didn't stop raining the whole time.
I was like, please say it's not going to be like this.
At least they emptied the parks. Emptied the parks out. No one was there.
We got absolutely drenched.
Nobody was stupid enough, just us, to go around the parks when it was chucking it there.
But yeah. And then we're going to be staying on site in a Disney hotel.
Yes.
We're staying in the Newport Bay, which is probably 5-10 minute walk away from the parks.
It's just on the lake past the village, isn't it? So it's perfect. Then it's not a long walk and it's not a hard walk. So if you're going with your family or anything, you don't have to worry about it. It's not far.
Yeah. It's the same kind of banding as the Sequoia Lodge, the New York Marvel Hotel. If you wanted to make it a little bit cheaper, there's a few that are probably another 10 minute walk on, which I have stayed in before. They're quite nice.
What's it called?
Cheyenne,
that's it, Cheyenne.
What's the other one? There's one more.
Not the Cheyenne. I don't know. The other one. There are 2 out there.
They're a bit more budget. They're still quite nice.
They are nice, but it's probably about a half-hour walk, realistically, from the hotel to the park, which is not too bad in the mornings.
Yeah.
But when you're coming home after a day in the parks, it's like.
And again, you can get the bus. But
the queues. The queues. It is cheaper. It is a lot cheaper. Definitely is cheaper. So if you're looking to save a little bit, I would recommend them. But if you're willing to pay that tiny little bit more, it is much more convenient to stay in the ones on the lake. So there's 3 on the lake.
Just depends what your budget
is. Just because you can walk. Plus, then you've got to walk through the village, and it's just a bit more Disney rather than getting a bus and getting shuttled in.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can stay off-site.
Yeah.
There are lots of. I've never done it personally. There are lots of hotels in the surrounding area that do their own shuttles.
Yeah.
Which I would imagine. I don't know, but I'd imagine they are cheaper. But again, it depends if you want to be there for the whole Disney experience.
We like the Disney experience.
Like the customer service and everything's so good. And then
I like to come in the room and like see all the characters on the wall.
Yeah, it's just done. You know what you're getting when you go to a Disney hotel.
Yeah, definitely.
So personally, our preference, we would say Disney hotels, but there are definitely slightly cheaper options if you're happy to get a 20-25 minute bus ride into the parks each morning.
Yeah.
Then there is the option for that.
So that's the hotels. With the hotels, you also get magic hours.
Yes.
So the hour before the park opens, it's only hotel guests, Disney hotel guests. So
big difference, isn't it?
Yeah, there's some rides where you should. Well, if you want to get on it with no wait, pretty much.
So it's rides like Crush's Coaster is a very popular one. We would always say, like, look, if you don't want to queue, if you want to queue anything less than an hour, we would recommend that you just go
straight
like
there.
I think you can go in from 8 o'clock if you're a hotel guest.
Yeah.
And just go to Crush's and you'll get on in 20 minutes, just because otherwise you're going to be standing there for ages and nobody really wants to queue for longer than 40 minutes, half hour, really. And don't run, they'll tell you off if you run. You speed walk.
Fast walk.
Speed walk. But everyone does it, you can see there's a queue, you've got to pick a good queue, which one you fancy's going to move quickest, and then you go and speed walk round to the right and do your Crush's Coaster first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
But I'd definitely say, like, if you're staying on site, utilise those hours, that hour each day, because
it does make a difference.
It makes such a difference. The park's so much quieter.
Yeah.
And you can get on, well, not I say all the rides, you can get on quite a few rides before the general public come in.
Yeah.
And then it starts to get a bit busier. So I would pick and choose rides that you know are going to be busy.
Yeah.
Like in your studios, you've got your Tower of Terror and your Crushes, and then in the main Magic Kingdom part, you've got your Hyperspace Mountain and the Peter Pan and Pinocchios. They always seem to be massive queues. So if you want to do them, do them.
Just go first thing.
And just get it done.
And then again in the afternoon, you can always queue for it again. So you can do it twice. But
I'd always recommend going. And then if you do your extra magic hours in the morning and you get everything done, you can go to a park. There's no park hopping's fine. You're allowed. There's no restrictions on how many times you can go backwards and forwards, and it's just a little 2-minute walk just across. They're literally next to each other, aren't they?
Yeah, they're not far at all.
So definitely recommend thumbs up for extra hours in the mornings, even though it means getting up. But thumbs up.
There are no more free Fastpasses.
No.
Which
sad. It's a sad day.
Yeah.
I used to like getting my ticket, and you put your ticket in and you get your little number, and you see if you've got the same time slot as the person you've gone with.
Yeah.
But
so you
that gone.
There is something else called the Premium Access, which basically is a paid like Fast Pass. I think it kind of works like the return time, probably similar to Genie Plus.
It's the same idea, isn't it?
I
think it's like €100.
It is quite expensive.
So if you don't get me wrong, you're saving a bit of money. You don't have to do COVID pass tests anymore, but 100. If you pay 100, if there's a family of 4 of you, it's like 400 quid.
Yeah. When you could probably just utilise.
That's half your holiday.
Yeah. You could probably just utilise the extra hour in the morning just for the rides that you
want to do.
Yeah.
If you're going on holiday thinking, I want to do Crush's Coaster,
just go first.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Don't. If you want to do it 5 times in a day, then maybe paying €100 is worth it, but it's a lot of extra money per person when again you can spend that on food and spirit jerseys and that sort of stuff. It's definitely it's a lot. It's a bit of a shame on Disney for that one, but
what else?
What else have we got to talk about?
Rides.
Okay.
There's a few rides down for maintenance at the moment. Hopefully they'll be open when we go, but at the moment there's no end date to it.
Yeah, so you've got Magic Kingdom, you've got Small World, haven't you?
Yeah.
And they're not committing to a date, which is just
which is quite
hopefully it will be open because it's the 30th.
We're doing that, it's a small world.
Yes, a few times.
Yeah.
Hopefully that'll be open, but I've got a sneaking suspicion it might overrun and not quite be done in time.
Yeah.
Which would be a shame, but what can you do? What else is shut? Pirates is shut at the moment, I think.
Yeah.
They have their annual
I think
2-week
it should be
refurbishment.
open when we go though.
I think they've committed to a date, so hopefully it'll be done before
I think
we go.
end of Feb.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed it's
I
open.
think that's the only two, Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, and then over in the studios, Rock and Roller Coaster is shut. It's a new Marvel.
Yeah, they're building the Avengers campus, aren't they?
Yeah.
So that whole area is shut with you got Rock and Roller Coaster,
which is turning into like a Marvel.
Iron Man, I think it is, isn't it? Iron Man? Yeah, I think it's Iron Man. Armageddon's shut, which is getting turned into Spider-Man, I believe.
Yeah.
And then it's like Lights, Motors, Action, the car stunt show.
Yeah.
That's being shut down. That's all being converted. Obviously, you've lost a few restaurants in there as well, which is a bit of a shame because there's not that much over that side anymore for food.
No.
But that's supposed to all come back summer.
So summer 2022.
So summer this year.
That should all be open.
Yeah, they've said. So that'd be nice once that's all done, because that park desperately needs it.
Yeah.
There's
and
not that much there, is there?
Also, they're like extending the park, so there's going to be a new like Frozen bit, which I'm very excited for.
And Star Wars.
Another castle.
And not Star Wars.
Yeah, another Star Wars bit.
I think that's 2023.
Yeah, within the next couple of years.
Hopefully
that. So.
Which will be a massive bonus for that park, because at the moment it's like a 2-3 hour park, and it would be nice if you could actually spend the whole day there without doing the rides over and over and over again.
Yeah, it's good that they've got the Ratatouille because that's fairly new.
Yeah, I think that's the newest ride. It's a good ride. It's classic. It's like quite an easy going ride, but there's only like 5 or 6 rides in that park, and you do well to spend more than about 3-4 hours if it's not busy.
Yeah.
You said go in, see a few characters. There's quite a few meet and greets now, isn't there?
We met Olaf last time.
Olaf. We got told off taking our masks off, didn't we?
Yeah. So that was in. Is it? It was in the bit with the hat where they used to have.
Yes, it's where the Mickey's Fantasmic hat, whether it's the blue one with stars and moon on it.
Yeah,
they used to do the drawing in there, didn't they?
We walked through there and Olaf was in there. They made us keep our masks on. We was quite a long way away from him, probably at least like 3 metres.
Yeah, it's a bit odd, wasn't it?
And both of us took our masks off and we got told off.
Some French guy come over and was like putting them back on like instantly.
We were like, okay.
But it was a bit odd. It's a bit odd. I don't really understand that, but if it's their rules, they want to do it the way they want to do it, don't they?
Yeah, they were quite strict about masks. The only time where you couldn't, the only time you could take it off was when you're sitting down and eating or drinking.
Yeah, literally.
They're very on it.
Yeah,
it's not like England.
No.
But hopefully by the time we go in a few weeks, that might have changed.
If not, hopefully soon after they'll start to relax it a bit more. And
definitely.
You won't have to wear them outside.
Yeah.
Where else are we going to talk? Village? Disney Village is open all the time at the moment, which is a bit annoying. So I think it opens about 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then it's open till about 10 p.m.
So that's all the shops.
Yeah, so all the shops in the main area, sort of in between the parks and the hotel.
Yeah.
So
they still have the little music when you walk through.
Yeah, still have music in the morning.
Sing song.
But yeah, so I don't know why. We have no idea why they don't open in the mornings, because people have to walk past them, but they don't open till the afternoon. So if you're going to do your shopping outside of the parks, leave it till later in the day.
Yeah.
Everything's still in the hotels and the parks. That's all open from the get-go. But if you want to go in the main, like the World of Disney, there's a fashion shop, a Lego shop,
art shop,
a very nice art shop. They all don't open till the afternoon. So if you want to do that, don't go there in the morning thinking, I'm going to do some shopping, because you have to wait till later in the day.
So we did a bit of shopping in the parks, and then as the parks were shutting, we left, and then we would walk around the village after. And
on the way back to your hotel, you have to walk through the village. So
village.
You have to walk through that, so you can do your shopping then. Come the end of the day, there's no it doesn't. Yeah. They don't shut the parks, and then that's it. It's all shut.
Yeah.
They want your money, didn't they?
Yeah.
So.
And then when we go, it's going to be ready for the 30th, so we'll be there a few days after. So our next video will be talking about all
the new things they're doing.
The 30th. So
hopefully they won't have sold out of everything.
No.
That would be sad. Hopefully they don't do a Florida.
We are excited for the merchandise, but
yes, there'll be lots of stuff, won't there? So that'd be nice though, won't it?
Yeah.
All the new theming, and hopefully they'll have lots of new stuff for us to buy.
very expensive.
Yes, a good job we're saving money on not having to have tests.
Yeah.
Not paying for the fast passes.
Think out,
To save us $100 each.
Yeah.
Euros. I keep getting it wrong.
We are going to America later this year, so I think that's
I keep getting it mixed up. Euros.
Yeah, so it's a good year for Disney trips for us.
Looking forward to going. 30th and the 50th.
And then we go in September for the 50th, so we're very excited. So
we will be back with a video all about the 30th, won't we?
Yeah.
And then we will be vlogging while we're there as well, so
There's
hopefully you'll all enjoy them. We're posting everything on Instagram as we go as well, so make sure you head over there.
Lots of stories and posts.
Lots of Disney content.
We'll keep you updated,
Let's be honest, you're not going to be short of Disney content for the next couple of months anyway.
No, definitely not.
No? We done?
Yeah.
Happy? Well, I hope that helps someone
Yeah.
out there, one person, and we'll be happy.
Any questions, feel free to comment. And
yeah, just let us know and we'll get back to you. I hope it was all clear. That made sense. We'll see.
It makes sense to us.
Yeah, it makes sense to us. Anyway,
So, we'll see you next time.
See you later. See ya.
Bye.